The first major job that I did was the beatification of John Paul II. I had no experience. I had a rented camera, and I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I didn't speak the language. And when I arrived, there was absolutely nobody in the entire of St. Peter's Square. And the first to arrive were the cops, and they started setting up some barricades, and there were two that were standing. Anyway, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. I'm looking to where I'm supposed to go, and I had no idea. And I looked off into the distance, and near the arch that's on the left side of St. Peter's, I saw a bunch of photographers kind of congregating. And as I started getting close, I realized that there was a fight between one of the police officers and a couple of the photographers. And there was this woman, some type of police or official person. She comes right up to me. She looks at my credential and she jams into my chest and she says, "No." And I'm like, okay. And I started to back away. And then this distinguished gentleman, he was the person who was in charge of everything. And he comes up to me and he looks at my credential. He picks it up off my chest and he looks at the name. And I don't know what came over me, but I just said, "Please." And he looks at me and he's like, "Okay." And then he waved to two plainclothes policemen, and they come over and they grab my shoulders and they start dragging me towards these other two guys. And I don't know what's happening. I don't know what I asked permission for. I don't know what's going on. I just know that something is happening. So they drag me over, and then a group of like 7, 8 other police or plainclothes guys surround us and kind of shuttle us off to the center of the stairs right in St. Peter's Square, right below the altar. And lo and behold, I look off to my right and I see that the Pope Mobile is coming up that way. It's like a center aisle that leads right up to the altar. And I see Pope Benedict, and Pope Benedict is getting really close. And I'm like, I was thrilled. I was like, holy man, that's Pope Benedict. And I guess I got to take some pictures. So I pick up my camera, and I was thrilled. I was beside myself. And I'm taking the pictures, click, 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 taking them. And he's passing by, and I'm like, I could almost touch him. He was so close. And I was the happiest person in the world. And the outcome of that story was something that was even more amazing in a sense. One of the photographs that I had taken in that setting, it ended up in the New York Post. It ended up all around the world in so many different magazines and periodicals. It was the #1 selling picture of Pope Benedict for about 1.5 years on Shutterstock. And it was probably the first image that gained any, or that where I gained any kind of attention. And it was something that kind of propelled me, along the path. So, you could call it luck, you could call a lot of things, fate, whatever, but, I think it was a grace, and it was something that, I'll be eternally grateful for, and I will never forget.